Hey, what's going on guys? Raj here, back with another video in the Just My Thoughts series, a new series I've set up on my channel, fragrance related, discussion based videos. I just did one on appreciating niche fragrances, and this one is going to be on appreciating designer fragrances. I'm not somebody who looks down on designer fragrances or is a fragrance snob. I believe in there is a lot more out there than just expensive ones. You don't have to own expensive and high-end fragrances. You can smell good on a budget. It was kind of the inspiration behind the affordable fragrance series, so check that out if you haven't seen any videos there. So a couple of points I wanted to talk about. The first one is price. I mentioned it in my last video, and you know what? Not everybody wants to spend a lot of money on fragrances, because ultimately, people like to smell good. It's a natural human instinct, it's one of our senses. We like things that smell nice, and we like that scent surrounding us and on us. And this is what the designer market does just really well. It gives you a scent that may not be the most authentic scent, it may not be the most authentic citrus or floral, but it provides you with enough of that feeling to make you think that you are surrounded by a bouquet of flowers, or in an orange, garden or something like that, an orange tree. It gives the people what they want. Designer fragrances appease the masses and has a purpose of serving the masses. That's what it's all about. Not everybody cares about expensive fragrances, about niche fragrances. They don't want to explore that side of things. They're happy with what they've got, and that's what I really like about designer fragrances. They have their purpose in the market. One thing I really like also is the marketing behind some of these brands. A lot of people may disagree and say that some of the marketing of the designer brands are completely ridiculous, but you know what? I like how a designer brand can create an image of a cool guy or a sexy lady and associate their fragrance with that, even though the two may be completely unrelated and not, there's absolutely no connection between both of them, but they do it so well. I think it's clever marketing. I've got no problem with it myself, and again, it's about attracting as many people as possible. I would rather live in a world where there are cheaper fragrances and designer fragrances as well as expensive ones. Even though people may complain about the quality of a designer fragrance, wouldn't it be a boring world if we only had the highest quality, most expensive fragrances which everybody couldn't afford and have access to? Designer fragrances have their purpose and are not to be ignored. Another thing I really like is that a lot of people will talk about designer alternatives to niche fragrances. A lot of designer fragrances will get inspiration from niche fragrances and try and recreate an expensive fragrance in a cheap form. And I like that. You can't always spend a lot of money on a designer fragrance. Sometimes you just want an alternative. Sometimes you don't want to wear green Irish tweed. You want something which is vaguely similar, and cool water is the option there, That's what is good about the designer market, is that it really makes you think about what is value for money. Because you can spend £143 or however much a Creed are charging nowadays, or you can go to the designer market and actually, you will smell fairly similar. Not the same, but you will smell fairly similar. It makes people feel good, that they've got a bargain, that they've got a deal, that they don't have to go out and spend hundreds of pounds, hundreds of dollars to smell good. And it kind of pushes, what I also like about this is that it pushes the niche brands to really produce something really valuable, something which is totally different. I think competition is essential in any market, in any part of the world. And designer and niche work hand in hand in terms of this point of competition. Because if the designers don't create good fragrances, people are going to get fed up, and people do get fed up, and they start to explore niche brands. And in the niche side of things, they have to be putting out good value, using good materials, not fobbing off the customer, giving them higher quality. Otherwise, they will go back to the designer market. So, as you can see, they're working hand in hand here. And ultimately, designer, and this is my personal point of view, this is my sort of preference here, is that the designer market can sometimes open up people's eyes to the niche market. And I'm probably, a little bit more biased towards the niche side of things. And that's what got me into fragrances. I wouldn't be wearing fragrances from Frederic Malle, I wouldn't be wearing fragrances from Amouage and L'Artisan Parfumeur if it wasn't for the designer market. I probably would have never heard of those brands. My interest in fragrances was sparked from the designer market. And, you know, then that's what got me into it. You know, I just wouldn't have got into the niche side of things if I didn't know about designer fragrances. It serves its purpose, you can smell good on a budget, and I'm glad that there are lots of fragrances out there. I would rather have somebody wearing a cheap fragrance and smelling decent than not smelling of anything, to be honest. So there you go guys, just a few thoughts of mine. This is what this series is all about. Thanks for watching, let me know your thoughts. Always great to hear from you guys, and I'll see you soon.